Hi everyone and welcome to H100's presentation of the financial results in the period 1st of May to 30th of September 2025. My name is Johannes Wiik and I'm the CEO of H100. Together with our Executive Chairman Sander Andersen, we will today take you through our progress, the financial results, and also give you an update on our Bitcoin Treasury Strategy. Before we begin, a quick note on the disclaimer. We really recommend everyone to pause this video and read this section carefully. H100 is Sweden's first and largest listed Bitcoin Treasury Company. We bought our first 4.39 Bitcoin 22nd of May this year. We have achieved the milestone of reaching 1000 Bitcoin in just 104 days. And as of today, we hold 1046 Bitcoin. In the period, we have raised a total of almost 1.2 billion Swedish kronor, and we have created a Bitcoin yield in Q3 of 264%. H100 operates through two different business areas. On the one side, we have the Bitcoin Treasury, which will be the main focus of today's presentation. And on the other side, we have the Health Tech division. And our Health Tech division provides technology solutions that enable health tech providers to deliver their service more efficiently. H100 is the clear Nordic leader in the Bitcoin Treasury space. And as of today, we hold almost 300 Bitcoin more than number 2 on the list. Looking globally, we are number 7 in terms of Bitcoin holdings in Europe, and we are number 49 in terms of Bitcoin holdings globally. And what this shows us is that we experience a strong international engagement. And since adopting our Bitcoin Treasury strategy, we have seen a 148% increase in our shareholders. And as of today, we have 77% international ownership of our shares, with over 20 different countries represented on our cap table. And to meet this international interest, we have today 2 international listings. We have the OTC ticker in the US with the ticker HOGPF, and we also have the OTC ticker on Frankfurt Stock Exchange with the ticker GS9. And also an international milestone I would like to mention is that H100 was included in the Morgan Stanley Microcap Index as of 26th of August this year. H100 operates with a lean organization, and we have a dedicated Bitcoin Treasury team, which consists of our Executive Chairman, Sander Andersen, myself as the CEO, we have Brian Brookshire as our Head of Bitcoin Strategy, and we have Elise Olsen as our Marketing and Communication Manager. Our Board of Directors is led by Sander Andersen, together with the board members Florence Aspinall, Joachim Dahl, and myself. Besides that, we are supported by our group CFO, Patrick Sjölund, and we also have a dedicated health tech team. Moving over to the financial results. And first, I would like to take a look at the significant events during the period. 22nd of May, we bought our first 4.39 Bitcoin. 30th of June, we adopted and announced our formal Bitcoin Treasury Strategy. And 22nd July 2025, our stock was trading on the OTC Frankfurt Stock Exchange. 13th August 2025, the OTC ticker went live in the US. And as of 26th August 2025, H100 was included in the Morgan Stanley Microcap Index. 19th September, we did a leadership change where Sander Andersen was elected as our chairman and I was appointed as CEO as of the same date. Moving over to the financial highlights. And before we go into the numbers, there is one structural point that is important to note. Our health tech business was acquired on 7th of April this year, and this means that the comparison to the 2024 numbers are not so comparable. The group net sales amounted to 5.1 million for the period compared to 1.2 million Swedish kronor for the same period the previous year. The operating cost of the group for the 5-month period amounted to 17.4 million Swedish kronor, compared to 2.7 last year. But it's really important to note that 7 million Swedish kronor relates to goodwill depreciation from the reverse takeover of the health tech business in April, and this is a non-cash item. The estimated personal costs tied to the Bitcoin operation in itself were approximately 4 million SEK, which is transferring to almost 400,000 USD. And therefore, the operating loss with cash flow effect for the group was approximately 5.3 million. The operation loss for the period amounted to 12.3 million SEK. And of that loss, 7 million had non-cash flow items and 0.5 million is one-time costs. Financial item was minus 25.7 million. And here it's important to note that minus 21 was related to the change of the Bitcoin value, and minus 4.7 million was related to change in currency. And this, both the Bitcoin valuation and the change in currency, does not affect the cash flow of the group, which is really important to note there. So loss after financial items was 38 million Swedish kronor, and of this loss, 32.7 million did not have cash flow effects for the company, which is really important. Moving over to the balance sheet, and this is where we really can see the results of our Bitcoin Treasury strategy. Total assets were, as of 30th September, 1.25 billion SEK. We hold 1,046 Bitcoin. Our equity was 888 million Swedish kronor, and very importantly, our cash position as of 30th September was 36.8 million. And this means that it gives us a long runway and the flexibility to have a long-term view for continued execution. So, what is the key takeaways from our financial numbers for the period 1st of May to 30th September? We have accumulated 1,046 Bitcoin in just 104 days. Our total assets in the group increased to 1.25 billion Swedish kronor, and we have an equity of 888 million SEK. The reported losses are mainly non-cash items, and we have a very strong liquidity that allows us to have a long-term focus on the industry. So that was an update on the financial numbers, and now I would like to pass the word over to our chairman, Sander Andersen, which will give you all an update on our Bitcoin Treasury strategy. Thank you.
Thank you, Johannes. Now over to our Bitcoin Treasury strategy that we started earlier this year in May when we bought our first Bitcoin, and the initial purchase was 4.39 Bitcoin, and we have since increased our stack to over 1,046 Bitcoin. By doing that, we have issued around 203% more shares, which again has resulted in Q3 alone with 260% sats per share growth for our shareholders. When we are out there raising capital, you have multiple capital markets tools where we have mainly focused on private placements of equity and convertible bonds. In the market today, you see different ATM programs. MicroStrategy has started issue preferred shares, and we also have started seeing the early and first transaction of an M&A transaction in the US, and in Europe, Bitcoin denominated products, and MetaPlanet has used option strategies. When we are looking at the market, we believe that the MNAV level opens up for different types of strategies. In a bull market where you trade significantly over your net asset value, you have a lot of tools that you can use to sell more shares and increase Bitcoin per share for the shareholders. Now, in a little bit tougher markets, we see that credit instrument is growing fast. And we saw that with MicroStrategy going into Europe with an oversubscribed over 600 million credit issuance in the last few weeks. For us, we are carefully monitoring the industry to figuring out how we use this specific moment in time to increase Bitcoin per share for our shareholders. Until now, equity and debt has been the way we have raised the capital. The equity has been done, again, with private placements, and we have structured convertible bonds, meaning we today have around 931 million Swedish kronor in Bitcoin net asset value, and we have around 342 million Swedish kronor in debt, giving us a leverage ratio of 37%. We are not affected by short-term drawdowns in the Bitcoin market. How we structure our debt has been a 5-year term, 0% coupon, meaning and no margin calls. So we are fine. We will not have to pay our debt until 2030, and we strongly believe that the Bitcoin will be at a much higher value in 2030 than it is today. A few other things in our convertible bonds is that we are able to convert the shareholders if the shares trade 33% above the conversion price for 20 days, which means it's a very friendly convertible bond. And for us, we feel very safe having that debt and providing leveraged Bitcoin to our shareholders. More importantly, we see the market now slowly proving itself where Bitcoin is becoming a global commodity market. If you look into the history of Bitcoin, the early explorers, they created a completely new financial system. People thought that was crazy. But this phase proved that the Bitcoin exists and can function independently. We believe the next phase was industrialization. That's the phase where the Bitcoin was usable at scale. We saw exchanges, wallets, lightning payments. All of this creates a demand for the underlying commodity. Late 2024, early 2025, we saw the institutionalization of the Bitcoin industry. We saw the US government created a Bitcoin strategic reserve, the ETFs, Bitcoin Treasury companies, and also more and more lending against Bitcoin. This phase makes it system critical. We believe this is the phase we are in now, and this is where we are going to play a huge role. The next phase that will come is the financialization, where Bitcoin is going to be a complete economic system. When we are talking about a complete economic system, we have to mention Bitcoin capital markets. And a well-functioned capital markets requires both assets and credit. And in this specific use case, Bitcoin is emerging as a superior collateral asset. Many have seen the comparison with gold, and Bitcoin is the new digital gold. But what makes Bitcoin very unique is that it's instantly transferable and verifiable. It's a fast and programmable settlement if you compare it to the traditional banking system or gold, and you have 24/7 liquidity. This opens up very unique opportunities. For these companies, they are getting as much Bitcoin as they can, and this will open up for multiple use cases in the future. We believe Bitcoin outperforms traditional collateral because it has no intermediaries, it's programmable, and it's transparent, real-time, and can be auditable. So how does that impact us in the Nordics? We are listed in Sweden. Even if we have a lot of international investors, we are based in Sweden, and Sweden has very favorable rate environment for credit instruments. If you compare Sweden to the US, it's a significant spread in our favor, where we see an opportunity for credit instruments in the Nordics, where we can grow rapidly and increase Bitcoin per share for our shareholders in a very, very efficient way. If you want more information about our data you are more than welcome to go to our website and check out our real-time dashboard analytic tool. Over to Project Svalbard. A few weeks back, we published our plan on Project Svalbard. This was a plan where we prepared us going from 1,000 Bitcoin to 10,000 Bitcoin and beyond. And for us, this represents the institutional layer and institutional strategies for the next phase for our company. Project Svalbard had three main focuses. One, how can we improve capital markets? Two, how can we improve fundraising and investor relationships? And three, how can we accomplish growth in the broader ecosystem with new products and increasing the community? An update on this specific project until today, we have, since launch, built a global institutional partnership. We have been on a US roadshow, building relationship with banks, institutional investors, and family offices from all around the world. We have prepared ourselves to go more international, started the process to do the transition from K3 to international accounting standards. We have been to multiple conferences, panels, and keynote appearances where we have showed the world who we are and build a more global network and prepare ourselves for the next step. We have expanded lineup conferences. We have a very good list of places where we're going to go. And we believe this is a way for us to spread the brand and show that we can build a true Bitcoin Treasury companies out of the Nordics. And we have already initiated conversations with new trading and exchange partners. On the more in progress side, we have structured a term sheet of tokenized Bitcoin denominated convertible bonds. We are in investor discussions with another Bitcoin denominated product. We have the ATM program ready when we need it. We will not start that at this current MNAV levels, but we have it ready for the next bull run. And we have already cultivated relationships with financial publications and more traditional media to increase our shareholder base. These multiple strategic developments makes us ready to deploy when we can create shareholder value. We have now the toolbox designed to perform across all market conditions. So we are here for the long term, and we appreciate all of you listening to this financial report, and more importantly, to all our shareholders that support us during this journey. And we will do our best to give you the best performing vehicle in the Swedish stock market. Thank you so much.